candidate Jarrod Jackson.
Thanks for having me here today. As I was just introduced, I am Jarrod Jackson, and I'm running for the House of Representatives for the 4th District. With me today is my fiancée, Lacey Wallace, my parents, Stanley and Lois Jackson, Laura Wallace, and several other friends and family. I was born in Caldwell County, and I grew up working there on local farms until I graduated from Caldwell County High School in 1996. My mother and father are both retired educators. My dad taught agriculture for 20 years at Caldwell County High School, and my mom taught 4th and 7th grade for a combined 27 years. In high school, I was an active member of the Caldwell County local FFA chapter, receiving recognition at the local, regional, state, and national levels. I also received the honor of being named the regional recipient of Farm Bureau's Outstanding Youth Award. After high school, I attended Murray State University, from which I received my Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Business. While attending Murray State, I was able to supplement my scholarship income with my employment at Staley's Dairy Farm and chicken farming operation. After graduating from Murray State, I received a Commonwealth Scholarship for Legal Studies to attend Salmon P. Chase College of Law. Upon graduation from law school, I worked for 2 years as a public defender in Hopkinsville before moving back to Princeton and opening my own firm on the Court Square. For the last 7 years, I have maintained my small business in downtown Princeton. Since returning home, I've continued to be involved with the local FFA chapter by serving as alumni president for 2 terms, and in 2009, I was awarded my honorary chapter FFA degree for my service to that organization. I am also a former president of the 56th Judicial Bar Association, a former chairman of the Caldwell County Relay for Life, and I currently serve as vice president of the Princeton-Caldwell County Chamber of Commerce. My parents always emphasized 2 major maxims of life to me, and that was 1, if you commit to something, you give it your best and you see it through to completion. In other words, you always honor your commitments. And 2, if you truly believe something's worth fighting for, then you never hesitate to go to the mat for what you believe is right. By filing a run for this office, I am making a commitment to you, the citizens of the 4th District, that if elected, I will fight to see that my constituency gets the strong representation that they deserve in Frankfort, and that progress for our Commonwealth and not party politics will always be my guide. Since this is a Farm Bureau event, I would like to briefly speak on ag policy. When it comes to ag policy, it begins with Kentucky farm families. I believe that Kentucky family farms are the bedrock of our state's economy and culture. I view investments in Kentucky agriculture and Kentucky's farm families as wise investments that serve the long-term good of our Commonwealth. You can count on me to be a champion for Kentucky farm families. While most ag policies are developed and implemented on the federal level, there are things we can do at the state level that can make a difference to these farm families. I believe there are 3 fundamental areas when it comes to Kentucky agriculture, the first being tax policy. When it comes to tax policies that affect our family farms, I will preserve the tax exemption for agricultural input, tax exemption for things like equipment, fertilizer, fencing, and feed. I strongly support continuation of House Bill 44, which limits the amount property taxes may be increased in any given year to 4%. Finally, as it relates to tax policies in general, my philosophy is to keep taxes low so that farm families and Kentucky's working families can keep more of their money, allowing them to make ends meet during these tough economic times. The next policy area is regulatory policy. When it comes to regulatory policies that directly impact farm family incomes, I break it down into 2 categories: environmental regulations and transportation regulations. I grew up in Princeton, and like similar communities across our Commonwealth, it is farming that puts food on the table for so many families, pays their bills, and sends their children to college. The farmers I know are like you and me. They love the land and are good stewards of it. They understand that some environmental regulations are necessary to help protect the land and streams, but too often it seems that politicians in Washington and Frankfort are enacting burdensome regulations that hurt our farmers' ability to make a living. As your state representative, I will strongly oppose any environmental regulation that serves any purpose other than hardship and expense for our family farmers. The third area is transportation policy. Transportation is perhaps one of the most critical services that we can provide at the state level. A good rural road system is essential for every Kentucky farmer to be able to get his or her goods to market in a safe and cost-efficient manner. I will be a strong advocate for investing in Kentucky's rural highway program and expanding rural water lines to more outlying communities and farms. I support continuation of the 10% weight variance for agricultural transport out of the field. If elected to serve as your representative, I will be available and accessible to each and every one of you. I don't care about labels. I don't care whether you have a D or an R beside your name. I care about getting results that improve people's lives and moves our Commonwealth forward. Once again, I'm Jarrod Jackson. I'm West Kentucky born, raised, and committed Thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate the opportunity, and I would appreciate your vote and support, and I appreciate you taking time out of this beautiful day to come here and listen to these candidates.